As I told you, BMNR was bottoming the other week, okay? I cannot tell you enough how much I am looking forward to see all of those haters saying like, hey, you know what? Danny was right again, right? And we sold, panic sold, whatever. Today we will talk about why this rally should just getting started. We will talk about the technicals. We will talk about Tom Lee. We will talk about the huge upgrade in 3rd of December. We will talk about why Tom Lee persists that we might see the biggest rally that you have ever seen that will face rip your face off, you know? So let's dive in.
Welcome to the game, I'm the wolf of Dubai.
Welcome to a brand new video, and if you don't know who I am, my name is Danny and I'm looking for X10 stocks that can go up 10, 20, 30, 40, 50x. I did this with Nvidia, Palantir, Tesla. My subscribers bought even houses and apartments, and you could be the next if you're subscribed off, all of my social medias. And make sure to also check out x10daytrading.com because we trade for you. Yes, in my group, we trade for you, where we actually use our software that we created for you. Okay, so this allows our professional day trading team to send you all our trades all automatically into your portfolio. All the buying, all the selling, all happens, and we haven't lost the trade since 2.5 weeks in the hardest months of the stock market. If this is not proof enough, we have also a lot of feedback like this. For example, our member from Israel, he just made $10,000, and obviously, day trading is very risky, and that's why we say, hey, you should be at least at the point where you have $10,000 or more. But we want to grow your portfolio by 8 to 15% per month. That's according to our 3.5 years history. We have 486 members from all around the world, and it works everywhere and for everyone. Okay, so if you want to start with $10,000, you should be somewhere around like $58,000 if we can achieve that. Obviously, there's no guaranteed results ever in the stock market, but we are pretty good at what we are doing. Okay, so if this is interesting for you, this is our AutoPilot software, how it looks like, and we essentially raising our joining fee. So you should decide now to schedule a call with me, and I will be the one having the call with you, and we see if we can help you as well. Now, if you're looking into Bitmine, well, so many negativity comments were there, and that it's over, that it's never going to return, and so on. And it's like yada for me, because I did this so many times. Okay, I heard these comments in Tesla, I heard these comments in Palantir, I heard these comments in Nvidia, I heard these comments in Hood, right? And while all of those people in their basements giving me all this negativity, I'm just watching the sunset here in my villa. Okay, so I think that you need to stay positive, and I want to reach so many people out there with my free content, with all of my channels. You should follow me on all of my YouTube channels. I have a second channel, I have a third channel, I have an X account, and you should really appreciate the whole work that our team is working for you every single day on Bitmine, every single day researching and giving out this knowledge totally free of charge, right? And there's still some people that, kind of find those negative points that a stock is volatile because it's connected to the most volatile asset in the world, right? So anyway, so for those who make it, I told you this in the intro, there's people that bought houses and apartments because they understood what we are talking about. We find great companies, we invest in those companies, we buy more when it drops, and we buy more when it goes higher. Okay, that's why I buy like $3,000 to $20,000 worth of more Bitmine every single day. I bought day before yesterday $16,000 in shares as well as in options, as you can see in these two screenshots. I'm sharing this with you because like I always say the same: if you lose, I lose more, but if you win, I win more as well. Okay, so I want to start with the first thing. Our chairman Tom Lee is actually telling us again that don't worry, we are reaching all-time highs after all-time highs again very soon. And here's the clip, what he actually says and what he thinks, and he's very persistent, and we will talk about that.
You've been, I think, pointing toward, let's say, 7,000 in the S&P by year end. Now that's only like 2.5% up from here. We made some progress, but a year ago you also thought we'd hit 7,000 in the first half of this year. So what happened along the way, and I guess what might you think about in terms of impediments looking into 2026?
Yes, I mean, we're almost through this year, and I'd say looking back, this was 5 years of history compressed into 1 year, because we had a major bear market, the biggest tariff hikes ever, And that, of course, killed any hope of any 7,000 in the first half. But miraculously, stocks went into a waterfall decline and recovered every single point of that decline symmetrically. So it really speaks to the resilience. But I guess as we're thinking about next year, I bet you it's going to be very similar in the sense that we'll get a policy shock, maybe whether it's monetary or from the administration. It could lead to a big drawdown of 20% again.
Yeah.
But it's a replay of this year. And maybe we've now had 20% bear markets in 5 years. I mean, that's a lot of history compressed into a 5-year period.
Now, you mentioned obviously the confusion over the path for the Fed as contributing to this recent pullback, as well as some policy flux in there. What role did the violent shakeout in crypto have on all that? Because a week ago, that's all we were talking about was Bitcoin can't stop going down. The NASDAQ wants to follow it, or people are concerned about how that's going to knock other things loose in other financial assets. So it's stabilized, but it's not exactly sort of participating to the upside in this bounce.
Yes. So crypto had been a leading indicator for actually most of the last 5 years. But on October 10th, crypto had what I would call Armageddon, a flash event, but it led to a liquidation that was never seen in the 15 years history of Bitcoin. About a third of the market makers went out of business that day. Almost 2 million accounts went to zero.
Yeah.
And it was because of a pricing error, what I would call a glitch. It led to what they call auto
you've definitely made that case that it definitely seems as if there was something in the kind of market maker functioning that got fouled. Yeah. Now, that being said, the reason you can have all those accounts auto-liquidated is because there were that many accounts with that much leverage that got Bitcoin up to where it was, above 120.
Yes.
Right? I mean, so it's not as if it happened in a vacuum.
Yeah. So in a way, it means crypto represents really a very precise measurement of risk appetite, because there's so much more leverage. And that got wiped out.
Right.
That last time it happened in 2022, it took 8 weeks before people sort of touch their toes back in. I think that's where we are. We're near a bottom. But now I don't think crypto leads. Crypto is lagging because it's really the AI that's going to be leading.
Okay, so basically that is kind of sidelined the idea of what, Bitcoin 150,000 you were thinking before?
Well, I think it's still very likely that Bitcoin's going to be above 100,000 before year end, and maybe even above one to a new high. So Bitcoin makes its moves in 10 days and every year. I think some of those best days are still going to happen before year end.
So as you can see, he is very persistent. And why he is so persistent, okay? Why he is so, let's say, convinced that Bitcoin and Ethereum can rebound so crazy, okay? And for that, we need to look into the past of Ethereum and of Bitcoin, okay? So you can see here, while this is not Ethereum, but is the Bitmine chart, I want to show you something, and that's why people have such a short kind of memory, okay? You can see here in 4th of August, we were at 31.68, somewhere very similar where we are now, okay? On the 12th of August, we were at 62, guys, okay? This is 100% gain in 12 days. And this was before the mania, before we had, I get here attacked by mosquitoes. And this was before the mania of all of that. So now imagine, now everybody who got washed out, who were excited for Bitmine, then actually they got a little bit of scared and they sold. And now imagine all of the people that wanted to be in Bitmine and how now have the opportunity. And also those who sold are panic buying now again. So imagine this with the seasonality of the market and crypto, how December could really look like. It could be absolutely insane, okay? But let's dive into also Ethereum, okay? Ethereum did many times something similar, okay? So we can see here, back in June, we had the price of 2,200, right? And then just, on the 12th of August, we were at almost 5,000, right? So you can see here also huge gains in a very, very short term. And that's why Tom Lee is so persistent that after such a big drawdown, and we had the huge drawdown, look at, since the 22nd of August, we lost about like 40% in Ethereum, okay? So from the lowest to the highest point, 39%, right? So you can see here that we had all of this washed out phases. Now, I want to go with you on X, because on X there's something else. Okay, we talk about the technicals, now we talk about X, and X is quite interesting because you can see that I posted something. I think it's here. Yeah, so you can see here in this X post that was posted by Ted Pillows. It's actually the last upgrade was Pectra, right? And since then, Ethereum went on an insane rally, and this could happen with the Fusaka upgrade again. Why? Because this upgrade makes it more efficient by 30 to 60%. So more users come into the market and buying Ethereum, more people, more liquidity. And this is great for such an asset, right? So that's another bullish. And this is like on the 3rd of December. So as you can see, everything is planned to exactly that, to absolutely be crazy, right? So in the last point I want to show you is actually the technicals. Okay, so the technicals of Ethereum is quite interesting because now we broke through 3,000. We went even as high as 3,071. And maybe over the Thanksgiving weekend, we maybe see 3,100. If we break through that, we see 3,200, 500, and so on and so forth. So that will be another catalyst if we break through that kind of levels. Okay, and for Bitmine itself, now the levels are the following. If we are looking into the chart itself, I think that the 35 level is now important, that need to be broken, and then my next level is at 40 already, right? So you can see it's getting quite quick. If you like that, and if you want to have more, specifically if you want to trade with us, check out xtendaytrading.com. Again, very few pieces of seats are left because we're raising our joining fee because we want to stay very exclusive. And if you want to do that, schedule a call with me. And also make sure to subscribe me on all my channels on X. And I see you tomorrow. Have the best Thanksgiving that you ever had. I'm saying goodbye from a wonderful view here. I will jump now into that pool here, which is our own, which is absolutely nuts. But yeah, I hope you like it. Make sure to subscribe. Remember, the grass is greener always on the other side. And I love you very much for watching. Thank you very much and take care.